something you weren't supposed to?
Never.
So it's all everything on there is for
always permission. Always. I know better. I know better. There's a reason I don't want to be sitting in these. I know better, and I really...
And you know why I asked, right?
I feel like you're asking because of my history.
That's why.
I feel like I'm singing cups for a reason now. I'll be very honest with you guys. I feel like this is all mixed together.
You're in cups because it's policy.
No, but I mean, I feel like I was brought in because of this. I didn't put two and two together until I saw you guys, and I'm wondering why I was going to Waukesha.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I was half asleep when I left the house, but I'm really starting to think you guys think I did something or I did something wrong. And if you knew Lynn, you knew the way she was. I didn't do anything, and I'll tell you that honestly.
I
love her to death.
I don't know her. That's why I'm asking you a lot of questions because I don't know who she was.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of the disadvantages of doing this job is you know her intimately.
Yeah, I know her very well.
And I'm investigating a death.
I get it.
And there's an anomaly in her toxicology. There's a drug in her system that's not supposed to be there.
And what would that be?
It's called Tetrahydrozoline.
What is that?
Commonly known as eye drops.
She uses eye drops all the time.
What does she use them for?
She used them for her eyes. But she went through them like crazy, which didn't make sense.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, when you say a lot, how much was she using?
I probably brought her 4 bottles while she was in the hospital.
Yeah.
She put them in her eyes all the time. All the time. And I was like, I've never met somebody that goes through it. She's like, my eyes are always dry. Always.
What kind of eye drops are you buying her?
Whatever kind. She didn't care. She didn't have like a history.
I mean, I'm not an eye drop guy, but we also refer to it as Visine. Is that?
Well, no, there's different. She likes a different kind. I don't know without looking at it. I really don't.
Okay.
No.
The hospital didn't have concerns with it?
I have no idea. I mean, she had it sing out on her thing.
The last couple weeks.
What would that do anyway? I don't get it.
Apparently, it's not good for you to use lots of eye drops. And that's what the medical examiner is concerned about.
Did they look in her house? Because she has boxes of them.
Does
or
she?
had. Yeah. Because she was well known for eye drops.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, what is that? Because that just sounds really weird to me when you said that.
It sounded weird to us, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, were you going to buy eye drops for her? You're buying at the end? Were you buying
that's
lots?
the same stuff that I bought for her all the time. Yeah.
How many boxes of eye drops you thought you'd buy in a week, maybe?
In a week? I don't know, a week, but usually every time I went to the store, she'd ask for them, so I'd get anywhere, maybe like 6 at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're probably buying, 6, 3 times a week?
No, I wouldn't think that.
I don't know. I don't know how many times you went to the store for once a week.
I couldn't tell you how often, but usually anytime I went to get her water or something, she'd be like, go get eye drops or get, I always had the same list usually of what she wanted.
When you say water, it's more like bottled water?
Yes.
That's just what she preferred?
Yes. She didn't drink tap. She didn't trust her. She didn't, ever since she lived in those apartments, she said the water was just funny. She had tested like 3 times. And she said that it just had a bad taste to it, like well water or whatever, because she's lived in a lot of places with well water. Mm-hmm. So she's been like that for as long as I can remember.
Did you ever taste the water?
I always drink the bottle too. It's habit for me. I drink bottle at home.
Just asking if you ever tasted the water. Yeah. Maybe it's, I don't know.
No, I drink bottle just like her. I never liked, because we have funky water too. So.
Did you ever see her like squirt the stuff in her mouth?
No.
Eye drops? No.
No.
Did you ever see her use different kinds of alcohol when she's taking her pills?
Oh, a ton. Well, what do you mean alcohol?
Alcohol, like
vodka.
Spirits. Vodka.
Well, yeah, she drank vodka all the time. That's what was her main drink.
The last couple weeks was she drinking?
She drank up until, I can't even say for sure. I know when she passed, she still had bottles at the house. She normally would go through 2 big things of vodka in 4 days, but I can't honestly say.
When you say big ones, the big 1.75 liter ones?
They're the.
What's the handle on it?
The Fleischmann's. The big Fleischmann's. Or was it Fleischmann? No.
Well, Fleischmann's makes a vodka.
I know when I see it's the big plastic bottle. Like the biggest one you can probably get. And she'd go through 2 of those in 4 days. but I don't know what she was really drinking at the end. I don't, because she'd say she wouldn't have one, and I'd come there and she'd have a drink made. So
The day of her death, in the morning when you're there,
yeah.
do you just think she's drinking that day?
I don't remember if I saw a cup out or not, to be honest.
If you saw her drinking at 9 in the morning, would you?
Oh, no. She used to wake up and drink at 3, 4 in the morning. That was normal.
That was normal.
Yeah. That's half of why, towards the end, she didn't drive a lot, because you never knew when she was going to have a drink.
And when she took pills, and when she's drinking and taking pills, you say, hey, you shouldn't do that? And I know she'd say, it's none of your business, right? Or
if you knew Lynn, she's been doing this for years. This is just what she did. I'm sorry, but it's what she did.
Detective, I have some questions that I want to ask you before we move on to the next clip. Up to this point in time, had anyone told Miss Kurczewski that there was tetrahydrozoline in Lynn Hernan's toxicology?
No.
Do you still have the marker in front of you?
I do.
Can you please put a star on the left of our timeline to indicate to the jury when that information was first relayed to Miss Kurczewski? Thank you.
Taking the board down, I apologize.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. The minute that eye drops were mentioned, what did Miss Kurczewski say about a habit Lynn had?
She immediately went into saying that she was well known for eye drops and used them all the time, and Ms. Kurczewski said she had to purchase several bottles at a time for her.
Was Lynn Hernan being, quote, known for eye drops something that had already come up from any other source in your investigation?
No.
When, during this clip that we just watched in slide 5, when this substance is mentioned, what does Ms. Kurczewski say about what that can do to the human body?
She doesn't know. She asked the question of what happens.
Do you recall in this section Detective Cole actually asking Ms. Kurczewski if Lynn Hernan was drinking eye drops?
Yes.
What did Ms. Kurczewski say?
She said that she puts it in her eyes.
Okay. At this point in your investigation, did you have information already that Ms. Kurczewski knew exactly what tetrahydrozoline was?
Maybe at that moment, no, but later on we learned, yes.
Okay. In your investigation, did you actually find evidence that at least the device of Ms. Kurczewski used the term tetrahydrozoline before this interview?
Yes.
I'd like to show the witness only, please, State's Exhibit 187. And actually, I'll get you the copies out of the box because I know that you looked at the paper copies of this, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm handing you, oops, Exhibit 188. 188 and 187.
Thank you.
Detective, do you recognize those items?
Yes, I do.
Yesterday we talked a lot about your investigation involving downloading a couple different cell phones, right?
Yes, we did.
And the jury heard about Exhibit 170 in this case from Detective Fredericks.
Yes.
Can you remind them whose phone this was?
Scott Craig's.
Okay. Are Exhibits 187 and 188 data from that phone download?
Yes, it is.
What kind of data?
Exhibit 187 is an excerpt of the timeline from the download of Scott Craig's cell phone, which again is chronological order of messaging or activity in the phone.
Okay, what is Exhibit 188?
It is a demonstrative exhibit, again, more readable version of text messages between Mr. Craig and Ms. Kurczewski.
Have you checked to make sure that the raw data was correctly put into Exhibit 188
Yes, I have.
on the version in front of you?
Yes, I have.
How do you know?
I initialed every page of the document.
Okay. At this point, I'd move Exhibits 187 and 188 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
Exhibits 188 and 187 are received, permission to publish granted.
So Detective, would it be fair to say that 187 on the screen right now is that kind of raw data we talked about yesterday?
Correct.
Okay. If we can please go into 188 with the jury, I'm going to have you read this conversation similar to what you did yesterday. Now, you've indicated a time on the first slide. What is that?
This is a date of the January 2019 message thread.
And if we go to slide 2, again, does this indicate for the jury the participants in the conversation they're about to see?
Yes, that's correct.
Have we used the same numbers or the same colors that we used yesterday for those people?
That's correct.
Okay. Moving on to slide 3, please. What date does this discussion begin?
January 12th, 2019.
Okay. Can you please add January 12th of 2019 on our Exhibit 228, our timeline? All right. Thank you.
Ready to go. Yeah.
Okay. Starting at the top, can you please read through this messaging as you did yesterday?
At 8:10 p.m., Scott sends to Jessy, and then what? Can't stay like that all night. It's almost done. At 10:21 p.m., Jessy to Scott, I love you, glad I came having a good night away. 10:22 p.m., Scott sends to Jessy, that's good, be safe. And at 10:29 p.m., Jessy sends to Scott, we Ubered and I'm sobered.
Next slide, please.
This is now the beginning on January 13th, 2019.
So is this the next day?
That is correct.
Okay.
At 9:57 a.m., Jessy to Scott. Scott, I don't feel good. I know you're mad at me and I'm sorry, but I'm throwing up blood. This is 2 times this morning. I might need to go to walk-in. This isn't. Continuing at 9:50 a.m., Jessy to Scott, normal. I feel so sick. At 10:34 a.m., Jessy to Scott, OMG, presumably, oh my God. I just got here and had to run literally to the bathroom and just shit for days. Sorry, WTF. I wish you came with me. At 10:35 a.m., Scott to Jessy, ew. At 10:35 a.m., Scott to Jessy, well, sorry, I'm hurting so bad right now too.
In terms of, if we can stay on that slide, please, the discussion in pink on the left, in the top box, the words walk-in is used.
Correct.
Does that have any significance to you?
That was information we believe was related to a walk-in urgent care clinic type location.
And then in fact, a couple down, it seems to suggest Ms. Kurczewski arrived at a new location.
Correct.
Okay. Next slide, please.
Continuing on January 13th, 2019, at 11:03 a.m., Jessy to Scott. Did Alex take Liam? Are you feeling better? At 11:03 a.m., Scott to Jessy, yes, she took him. I feel horrible, so bad. At 11:06 a.m., Jessy to Scott, sorry, hun, I feel pretty bad right now, too. They said my blood pressure is really bad. I'm shaking bad right now, and my heart is flying out of my chest. It starts with TH and then continues on to the next text message, which was broken up at 11:06 a.m., continuing. Presumably they got me drinking water like crazy. Might have to give me fluids in my arm if it doesn't improve fast. They took blood, waiting. The nurses keep, continuing at 11:06 from the last text, the nurses keep coming in every 2 minutes to check my blood pressure.
Okay, next slide, please.
Once again, we're continuing from January 13th, 2019 at 11:08 a.m. Scott to Jessy, oh geez. And 11:30 a.m. Scott to Jessy, what's up?
Okay, the next slide.
Continuing on January 13th, 2019 at 11:39 a.m. Jessy to Scott. I have traces of tetrahydrozoline in my blood. The doctor said that's what's messing with my blood pressure and why I feel like crap. He said that's the main, broken up to the next text, which is at 11:39 as well, ingredient in eye drops. WTF. I'm freaking out right now. He said so much stuff that I'm in complete shock. He asked me a ton of questions, where I've been. Next text is also continuing at 11:39, who I've been around and all this shit. I have to go for a chest x-ray and get fluids in my vein now. I have to have the charcoal crap. It's so nasty. I don't, continuing at 11:39 a.m., Jessy to Scott, want to. I'm waiting for the x-ray and I'm shaking now again. I'm reading about it online and I need to stop.
Next slide, please.
Continuing again on January 13th, 2019, Scott to Jessy, Jesus Christ, we'll try to calm down. At 11:40 a.m., Scott to Jessy, well. At 11:41 a.m., Jessy to Scott, the whole shitting thing is false. It messes with you really bad and not with poop.
Okay, next slide.
Once again, continuing on January 13th, 2019, Jessy to Scott. He said that people put it in people's drinks all the time. He said there's no taste to it and people don't notice. Who the fuck does that? Is this Mike's? And then the text is broken up. 11:44, Jessy to Scott, continuing, new sick joke, thinking of his new poop ideas or what? At 11:45 a.m., Scott to Jessy, I have no idea. At 11:45, Scott to Jessy, I don't see why he would do that.
Next slide, please.
Again, continuing on January 13th, 2019, at 11:48 a.m., Jessy to Scott, I don't fucking know. Seriously, I just want to cry. I can't even believe this. At 11:52 a.m., Jessy to Scott, have you read on this shit? OMG. At 11:52 a.m., Scott to Jessy, no, stop reading. At 11:59 a.m., Jessy to Scott, I just want to come home. At 12 p.m., Jessy to Scott, are you feeling any better? 12 p.m., Scott to Jessy, no, not really. Ibuprofen and Tylenol isn't working.
And next slide, please.
January 13th, 2019, Jessy to Scott, sorry, hun. I'm sorry, that was 12:01. At 12:02 p.m., Scott to Jessy, yeah, me too. 12:13 p.m., Scott to Jessy, don't tell anyone about what's happening to you. At 12:13 p.m., Scott to Jessy, who were you all with? 12:16 p.m., Jessy to Scott, I told Mike because I asked him. Mike, Tina, Antonio. 12:17 p.m., Scott to Jessy, great, you shouldn't have told him.
Next slide, please.
Continuing again on January 13th, 2019, 12:17 p.m., Scott to Jessy, it has to be one of those three. 12:17 p.m., Scott to Jessy, nobody else would do it. 12:17 p.m., Scott to Jessy, doesn't make sense. 12:17 p.m., Jessy to Scott, sorry, I wanted to know if he did it. 12:17 p.m., Scott to Jessy, you think he would tell you? Duh.
Continuing on.
January 13th, 2019, 12:23 p.m., Jessy to Scott, I don't know. The whole thing bothers me. You can die from that. I don't see any of them doing it. The doctor said it's a new trend when you mix with alcohol. It's continuing 12:23 p.m. Jessy to Scott, like a date rape drug, but different. We did put our drinks down once when we went to smoke. Otherwise, Tina and Antonio held on to them other times. I, continuing 12:23 p.m. Jessy to Scott, can remember everything until we went to leave, and then I start forgetting. I don't even know what happened at Palace at all except getting there. And Tommy, 12:23 p.m. Jessy to Scott, continuing, telling me I had to leave. I keep trying to figure out the night I have pieces. I don't feel like this. I don't want to go out anymore. Mike said, 12:23, continuing Jessy to Scott, I seemed off too.
Can you please, going back. On slide 13, can you please use your finger to circle where Ms. Kurczewski tells Scott you can die from that? Madam Clerk, if we could please capture this as 188A. And then we can clear the screen and continue. Go ahead.
January 13th, 2019, 12:24 p.m. Jessy to Scott, I feel so embarrassed and stupid. 12:25 p.m. Jessy to Scott, they have to notify the police on this too. 12:26 p.m. Scott to Jessy, wow. 12:26 p.m. Jessy to Scott, I don't have to talk to them, but they have to report it. He said this is very serious and they are obligated because it's considered poisoning. Continuing, January 13th, 2019, 12:30 p.m. Jessy to Scott, my chest x-ray is good and the levels in my pee are low, so he said it's towards the ending, meaning that when ingested, it only affects you for so much time. 12:30 p.m. Jessy to Scott, unless you keep ingesting, my blood pressure is still up down. 12:30 p.m. Scott to Jessy, well, keep drinking water so you pee. 12:31 p.m. Jessy to Scott, I'm just glad I don't need the charcoal. Continuing on January 13th, 2019, 12:35 p.m. Scott to Jessy, this is the second time this happened to you? 12:37 p.m. Jessy to Scott, yep, awesome. Me not the same though. Why do people hate me? 12:37 p.m. Scott to Jessy, what do you mean not the same?
Detective, did you identify this series of messages in Exhibit 188 as significant in your investigation?
Yes, yes, we did.
Why?
During our interview, again on July 9th of 2019, Ms. Kurczewski clearly denies any knowledge of tetrahydrozoline, asks what it is, denies any knowledge of it, and has no idea about the ingredient or the effects. These messages clearly would state otherwise.
In fact, remembering back to the clip we just watched in Exhibit 202, slide 5, do you remember when Detective Cole told Ms. Kurczewski about that anomaly in Ms. Hernan's toxicology?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember if Detective Cole pronounced the word tetrahydrozoline correctly?
No, he did not.
Okay.
Close, but not correct.
If we could please go back to slide 7 of Exhibit 188. Detective, can you please circle the word tetrahydrozoline in this slide 7 of Exhibit 188? Based on your information, is that word spelled correctly in this message?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Madam Clerk, if I could please capture this as Exhibit 188B. Thank you. Detective, were you in the courtroom when Scott Craig testified earlier?
Yes, I was.
Was he asked questions about this exchange?
Yes.
Did he recall it?
Yes.
Okay.